What's going on, guys? It's Lark here. I wanted to give you guys a video today comparing the two best companies in the cloud mining business. So we're going to compare Genesis to Hashflare. We're not talking about Hashing24 because I don't believe they offer the best product. Although they are a dependable company, they deliver what they say they're going to deliver. They just charge way too much for their product. But hey, with the crazy price of Bitcoin, even Hashing24 has finally become profitable. But why would you go with a company that charges so much more when you can get the same service at a much lower price? So the price of Bitcoin is now sustaining above $4,000 per Bitcoin. Amazing profitability. Blown away. I'm just blown away. Every day I come and sit down here and look, oh my god, Bitcoin's exploded again. So we are getting massive profitability from Bitcoin at the moment. All the experts have proven again that they know nothing, that no one knows anything about the crypto market really, right? That it's very, very difficult to predict anything in this crazy crypto world. So we're going to be looking at comparing the features of Genesis mining and of Hashflare and try to think, well, which one's best? And well, I guess I'll leave the final decision up to you guys. But let's have a look at Genesis first. So this is Genesis's dashboard. You can see I've mostly invested in Dash over here on Genesis. And I really want to get my Bitcoin contracts a bit up to date over here on Genesis mining. Considering, of course, how crazy profitable mining Bitcoin is. I've been putting most of my money into mining over on Hashflare. But it's definitely time to come back, and I was doing the Dash before, and now it's time to come back and put a bit of money into Bitcoin mining on Genesis mining. So it's definitely time to get involved with that. Now they've got a nice, very easy display here. I've always liked their displays. So you see all the coins you're mining right there, and approximately how much power you have. And then you can scroll down here, and you can see what your different profitability is from those different coins, for example. So you can see here how much you've made over time mining those coins, which is really nice. You can change your mining allocation on Genesis, which is a nice little service as well. So you can, for example, go to Bitcoin, right? So I've got 100% Bitcoin mining obviously going, but if I wanted to mine some ZET, for example, or get auto traded into Litecoin, I could do that too. But obviously, you want to get the Bitcoin. You want to get the Bitcoin, guys. That's where it's all at. And so come over if you want to buy some hash power. They got nice convenient little sliders. So you can see, how much is how much. So we're going to look at, just for example, 10 terahashes today, just to get you thinking about that. 1 terahash is $150. $150 if you want to get 1 terahash over here on Genesis mining. And you do get a discount at 10 terahash of $100 if you're interested in that. Ethereum mining, wouldn't recommend it. There's a very strong chance that Ethereum is going to be switching to proof of stake soon. So you're not going to be able to mine Ethereum anymore, so I'd stay right away from that. Monero mining, not super profitable at the moment by any means, so can't recommend Monero mining either at the moment. But definitely what is highly recommended is Bitcoin mining. And that's all we're going to be comparing today on these two sites is Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin mining. Now you can come over here, you can pay with credit card in USD, which is how I've made most of my purchases. You do have to wait 32 days before you make a withdrawal though. So do keep that in mind when you buy. Most sites are pretty much the same though. If you pay in Bitcoin, Dash, Litecoin, or Dogecoin, why are they accepting Dogecoin? I don't understand. Anyway, by paying Dogecoin, you guys can pay immediately over here on Genesis mining, and you'll start getting your payouts tomorrow. If you are going to buy the credit card, there is a waiting period. It's to help them avoid fraud. I understand. Anyway, you're not going to be spending your Bitcoin anytime soon anyway, because remember guys, Bitcoin's going to the moon. Don't sell it now. Mine it. Hold it. You're going to thank me later. Seriously, just hold on to your Bitcoin. Most important thing you can do. So that is Genesis mining. Now, let's have a look at Hashflare. I've always liked Hashflare's panel a lot more. I've liked these. I like the charts here. The charts are really nice. I like the revenue forecast. That's really nice. You see revenue per terahash per day. You can adjust your mining pools, which is really nice. They've got a nice little reinvest option. So you only withdraw when you want to withdraw. Genesis mining pays you out every day, right? So just go every day. You get a transaction, goes straight to your account. Whereas Hashflare, you can hit the reinvest button here and it'll simply keep reinvesting that money into your contract. which I really like. So that's what I'm doing right now with my SHA-256. That's the Bitcoin plan. So I just keep reinvesting my money into the Bitcoin plan. So every day I get another 0.03 terahash at the moment. And again, I'm going to keep upgrading this contract over here on Hashflare as well, because that's really fun. But I'm definitely going to put some more into Genesis mining here in the very near future. So I'm also mining Litecoin over here on Hashflare, and it gets paid out in Bitcoin. That is not, it's a bit of a tricky one because it's, dependent on different exchange rates and the difficulties of mining Litecoin and all that stuff. So, it used to be a lot more profitable, that one, but Litecoin mining difficulties really jumped a lot recently. So I definitely stick with just the SHA-256. It's simple, it's easy, and it's highly, highly profitable, guys. You can also mine Ethereum over here, same story. Be careful with that because they're switching to proof of stake, so might not be that profitable for you guys, even though the price of Ethereum is well up. And also mining some Dash over here. Really happy with my Dash contract over here on Hashflare. It's definitely been paying out nicely, and I definitely appreciate that contract, so it's really good. I'm just happy to let that sit there and just keep accumulating. So that's really cool. So if we want to buy some Bitcoin mining power over here on Hashflare, we have got, so 1 terahash, 120 bucks. Beautiful. Let's look at 10. 10 terahash, 1,200 bucks. Much cheaper than Genesis mining. Now on Genesis mining, the price for 10 terahash is 1,400 bucks. You do have to account for, though, obviously you're gonna use someone's 3% discount code, because why the hell wouldn't you? Right, so you will get 3% off that total. So that's going to be about 30. So yeah, about 50 bucks off in the end. Maybe a little less, but definitely a pretty good value here. So you're gonna be paying about $13.60 or something for 10 terahash. So at that price, is not that much more than Hashflare. You're gonna pay about an extra 160 bucks versus Hashflare. Now, how much Bitcoin are you likely to get for 10 terahash? Right? So remember, if I went to the market today and I spent $1,400, how much Bitcoin would I get? Bitcoin's currently at $4,000. Right? So if I spend $1,400, how much Bitcoin am I going to get? Right? Not that much. Not that much. Well, enough, that's for sure. You're probably going to get about 0.4 Bitcoin, right? 0.4 Bitcoin. So that's, definitely not a monstrously huge amount of Bitcoin or anything like that. However, if you come and spend that money on mining Bitcoin, your profitability is going to be way, way higher. Way, way higher than... Bitcoin mining is slow. It takes time. But if you're holding long term, then you don't mind about waiting that time. You don't mind about holding on, sitting back, letting the Bitcoin roll in. You just have to resist the temptation to spend it. If you go and you buy a Bitcoin, you're going to have that amount of Bitcoin, like I said, about 0.4. Not even 0.4 for that kind of money, but about 0.33, I suppose. But, definitely nowhere near as much Bitcoin as you can get by mining. Now, look here, for 10 terahash, we get 0.99 Bitcoin. 0.99 Bitcoin for 10 terahash. Look, Bitcoin mining difficulty is going up. There are fees to pay. But, here's the issue. You're still gonna get more Bitcoin than you could ever get by just buying it on the market. And so if you're looking at this long term, you're thinking long term, mining is definitely the way, absolutely the way. So we're going to get 0.99 Bitcoin. That's based on today's numbers, right? Bitcoin mining difficulty is increasing. It increased by 4 times over the previous year. Now that is probably going to continue at a rate of about 200 million. Or is it 200 billion? 200 billion, I think, every 3 months. And that's kind of the rate that it's been going at. So we're actually going to see probably a continuation of that trend. Now, if that were the case, by next year, this time next year, 10 terahash is only going to get you about 0.5 Bitcoin. So between now and then, if you're getting paid out every day, you got to kind of find your middle ground, right? So you probably end up about 0.75 Bitcoin. You got to pay some fees on top of that, so we cannot forget about the fees, right? So we're going to get, let's say our $4,000 profit, and let's say it's going to be $3,000, for example, right? So we're going to get $3,000, we got to pay $1,200, get it, okay, that's fine. So Hashflare charges 35 cents per terahash. We're getting 10 terahash, okay? That's per day. That is per day. We're going to times that by 365. Okay, I'm going to pay $1,200 in fees over on Hashflare for a 10 terahash plan. $1,200 in fees, okay? $1,277. So we got to take $1,277 off of our 4,000 here. So remember, we're probably going to have about 0.75 worth of Bitcoin. And now it is paid out in US dollars, so that is something to keep in mind. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, the actual percentage of the fee that you're paying in Bitcoin does go down. You know, because remember, you're paying that fee in Bitcoin every day. That's something to keep in mind here. So we're going to end up with about $1,600. Is that right? No, about $1,800 worth of Bitcoin. Now, that might not sound like, oh, well, okay, I'm only going to make $400 or so profit on my Bitcoin there after, you know, the difficulty increase and after, you know, all these different factors. But that's just the first year. That is something you need to keep in mind. That is just the first year. This is a contract that will keep on paying out. They will keep paying you Bitcoin until basically the difficulty reaches such a level where the terahash power that you've purchased is no longer enough to mine that Bitcoin and for them to actually pay you out. So that is probably a few years away. So we can consider probably at the end of the second year, we will have gotten another 0.3 Bitcoin or something like this. So now we're up there. Now we're up there. So now we're at 0.3 Bitcoin. And year after that, assuming this contract is still going, you're probably going to get like 0.1, something like this. So that is the really great part about these contracts, is they keep paying out. And they'll pay out for quite a long time. So in the end, you're really, really getting ahead on this. Now, we do have to point out here with Genesis Mining as well. Like I said, the fees are lower over on Genesis. And that makes a big difference. I want you guys to have a look at this. So it's 28 cents per terahash. We're getting 10 terahash. So that equals 280, right? We're going to times that by 365 days. It's $1,000. So we got $250 less in fees to pay over on Genesis Mining. So even though the buy-in price is a little bit higher, you're really, really winning because you actually end up getting more Bitcoin at the end of the day from Genesis Mining. So that is a big, big difference you got to think about as well. Like I said, I like both sites. They're both really reliable. They're both, you know, providing a great service, but, you know, they do have their differences. The lower fees over here on Genesis Mining are very attractive. Over here on Hashflare, you know, they do have a higher fee, but they still have really good payouts. I would suggest using both, personally. You know, spread your risk around. You just never know what'll happen. And recently, Genesis Mining suffered a pretty big hack, and their service has been a bit spotty recently as a result, as they're trying to catch up. All the payments for me are up to date, so I've got nothing to complain about with Genesis Mining. They have caught me all up to date on my payments, so I think everyone else has been largely paid out. There might still be a few people missing something or other there, here and there, but they really worked hard to make sure that everyone did get paid out. So that, to me, says they're a really reliable company. Hashflare, never been any problems with Hashflare over here, so they're definitely super reliable as well. So you can look at both those companies and think, okay, it's a safe place to put the money. You can pay with your credit card or debit card on both of these sites, which makes it really easy for anyone who's been out there trying to buy Bitcoin. You know what a pain in the butt it can be to buy a Bitcoin. So this makes it really easy as well. Just come over, buy a Bitcoin, no dramas. So that is definitely really good if you want to think of it that way. So the two things, you'll hear Genesis Mining promoted a lot more than Hashflare, which is, I think, is sad, because Hashflare's got a really great product to offer as well. Genesis Mining's got the 3% discount code. I've put mine down below. You can feel free to use that to get your 3% discount. That would be awesome. It would help me out a lot. But people get a pretty good payout from that too. Like, I'll get 3% of your sale when you use my code. So, you know, you can see why a lot of people are pushing Genesis mining much more than Hashflare. Hashflare doesn't really offer any packages like that. There's no deals or anything over here. Now, if you use my code that I've put in down below, it'll help me out a bit, but unfortunately there's no code exchange you can really do with Hashflare. They do have sales from time to time, but outside of that, there's no, you know, you can't use my code and then I use your code and we exchange like that. It doesn't quite work that way with Hashflare. Their price is already so low, I guess, you know, they don't see much of a benefit in giving people an even higher discount on top of that, although they do have sales from time to time, but there's no, you know, no kickback on that. You know, so if you do sign up with Hashflare, you can use my referral link to sign up, and that does help me out a little bit, but, you know, like I said, the price is already so low over on Hashflare, they don't really offer many discounts. But, you know, definitely if you are going to use my code on Genesis Mining, I would ask that you please leave your code down in the comment section below on this video. You know, and I will try to use your code in the future when I do my upgrades. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at making a lot of Bitcoin upgrades on Genesis Mining in the near future. So please, you know, if you do use my code, leave your code down below, and I'll try and hit you back, okay? So that's how it works. That's how it works. Anyway, guys, whichever company you choose, get involved. Cloud mining, for all the naysayers out there, is really, really profitable. And please, guys, be careful. There are so many scams out there. Microhash is a scam. BitLake's a scam. You know, so many scams, it's not even funny. These are two really trusted, reliable companies. Hashing24 is also a trusted, reliable company. I think they charge too much for their product. That's why I don't recommend them. But they are definitely reliable. And if you want to go use Hashing24, you'll have a good experience with them too. But outside of those three companies, there's no one else that's proven to not simply be a scam. So really keep that in mind before you invest in any cloud mining, guys. There's three companies. If it looks too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Anyone offering you, you know, to give you your money back in 7 days, or, you know, 1,000,000% profits, or whatever BS they offer, they're blowing smoke up your butts, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. All these scams, you know, are just bad business. Bad business. I know everyone says, oh, just, you know, you got to risk them sometimes. No, just why risk your money at all? Go for the safe bets. This is safe, it's easy, and it's profitable. And that's what we all want to make at the end of the day, is, you know, make that profit. Get that cheddar, guys. Get that cheddar. It's awesome. Anyway, guys, that is all from the Crypto Lark for today. Get some of that $4,000 Bitcoin, guys. We will see you next time. Peace out.